Hi, I'm Faraz Khan from MyTrack Recruitment, and welcome to Season 3 of the Low Code podcast. Low Code is the future of software development, but what is low code without its developers? So this season, I will be speaking to all levels of developers across the globe who have taken the career choice of working with low code platforms. With this podcast, our aim is to help grow the low code developer community by inspiring others to follow the same path as our guests. There is a severe shortage of resources in this area, and we are looking to help bridge that gap by raising interest and awareness amongst developers to look at this exciting technology. So let's get started. Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Code podcast. Today my guest is Abeer ElAsaal from Cairo, Egypt, but now in the Netherlands. Hi Abeer, how are you?
Hi, Firouz. Doing good. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Thank you for taking your time to speak to me.
Thank you.
So, I thought you'd be a good guest to have because of your journey with low code, and I've been following it on LinkedIn. So I thought it'd be good for others to hear a bit about you and what you've done in the past few years and currently. So, usually we start off with our guests just telling us a bit about themselves.
Sure.
So,
Okay, my name is Abeer ElAsaal. I work as an OutSystems developer with Linkit. I joined Linkit since last April. And before that, I was working also as an OutSystems developer in Egypt. And I come with different experiences before being introduced to OutSystems. But yeah, mostly I was working in Egypt, but we had clients all over the region. So my experience started as SAP consultant and BI and data warehouse developer. And then I grew into the OutSystems developer. So yeah, I think that's mostly it.
how did you? So just to go back, what made you kind of choose a career in tech? I'm assuming in Egypt that's not a big thing for women to kind of choose a career in technology.
Yeah, it's nowadays I can say in Egypt, people are like looking more into the tech for men and women, and I can say I always loved to do stuff with the software when I was in high school. So I wanted to study computer science, which actually was my major in college. I studied computer science, and I think the question for me after graduation was more of what to do now, because we had a lot of possibilities.
Yeah, I could imagine. Yeah.
Exactly. And then as you say, for women especially, and yeah, I can say also in Egypt, we don't have that much of, I can say, of awareness or much of women actually contribute in the tech industry, which we can see it right now. People are starting like supporting women, and
Yeah.
a lot of initiative for this part. So I think I just love doing software.
Yeah. And how did you come across? I think I saw on your LinkedIn you mentioned somewhere that you were looking for a technology where you didn't have to code. So did you research, or did someone? Usually, when I speak to people, they either obviously somehow were working in a company who introduced it, or did you do your own research? How did it kind of come in front of you?
Okay, so one point here, it's not that I actually hated coding, but
You try to avoid it.
kind of.
Yeah.
So that's why actually when I started my career, I started as an SAP consultant, and then I grew more into, as I was saying you, BI and data warehouse. So I was still writing code, still writing SQL and everything, but developing web and mobile application wasn't really something that was so interesting for me.
Yeah,
I
sure.
just thought that there is a lot of work to be there, repetitive work, and doing it like, it just like seemed a little bit of too much to achieve a very small thing.
Yeah, sure.
So it wasn't just my thing, but then I got introduced to OutSystem by my employer by that time. So
Okay.
he actually came to me saying there is something that's called OutSystems.
Yeah.
I was like, what's that? He's
Yeah,
like,
what's that? Yeah.
exactly. Is it still me doing like doing
Yeah.
software, doing code, doing stuff? And he was like, yeah, it is for sure. So I was like, yeah, let's explore it. And I explore it, get the certification. By the time I was the first one certified in Egypt. So for me, it was like very
Wow.
new.
So you're the first certified person from Egypt. Wow. That's a good achievement. That's a nice thing to mention. That's really cool. Yeah, that's very cool.
But yeah, I think we were starting by that time, and with time, I get to know how OutSystems is helping me a little bit, avoiding the repetitive thing that I hate.
Yeah, sure.
So not the software I'm putting, it's the repetitive part.
So it was pretty much made for you then, or what you like.
What?
It was pretty much made for what you like to do.
Exactly. It
Yeah,
was definitely everything that I wanted.
yeah. And what version did you start? Did you start using OutSystems
I
with?
started with 11, early
Okay,
11.
11.
I
Okay,
started
fine.
with 2018, that was with 11.
Yeah, sure. Okay, fine. And when you kind of started working with OutSystems, when did you, obviously I mentioned you're now in the Netherlands. When did you kind of think, what was your kind of was that something you wanted to do before OutSystems? Was it always your ambition to work abroad? Or was it something once you went into OutSystems, you thought there's more opportunities in Europe, or what kind of drove you to that?
To be honest, I never thought of reallocation and traveling. Like, I
Yeah,
love to travel.
yeah.
That's like,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
tourists
sure.
and
Yeah,
exploring things and stuff. I
yeah,
think most people who know me know how much I would love packing and just going
yeah, just
somewhere
going
new.
somewhere. Yeah.
But I never actually thought of traveling. But when I started working with OutSystems, with time, I saw the opportunity was really, really good
Mm,
presented by that time for me when I joined Linkit. So I think
mm,
it was more about the opportunity. And I think as also as OutSystems itself, I felt like I would grow more in my career with that move.
mm.
And it was more about it's like, the opportunity that I found with my current employer, which is Linkit right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, reallocation, because when I was also working in Egypt, we had clients from all over the region.
yeah,
So whether
sure.
it's in the Gulf, it's in Egypt. So I
Yeah,
was already having this experience of working abroad, working with
yeah,
different national culture as
yeah.
well. So, and yeah, I can also say that the OutSystem is widely known in Europe more
Mm,
than the Middle East.
yeah,
It's
yeah, of
very
course.
mature here compared to there.
Yeah, yeah. And Netherlands is quite a big hub for OutSystems as well.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very true.
Are you learning Dutch, or you're getting by with English?
I'm getting very fine with English. I'm
But
very
that's a no
struggling.
then. Yeah.
Yeah, I barely didn't start anything, but yeah,
Yeah.
and when I'm picking up some words and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. So how have you kind of we speak to people all the time who, some are all for relocation, some aren't. So it'd be good to kind of get your experience on how you found that move from Egypt to Netherlands, which I guess is the opposite, with
Yeah,
weather and other things. So how
yeah.
have you found that?
Well, to be honest, before when the reallocation opportunity was presented to me, I I thought by that time it will be it's like I was really thinking it through. Like I
Mm,
was thinking, like, would this be
yeah,
fitting me, fitting my life and everything? But to be honest, after experiencing it, it's a whole different thing. You never think
mm,
of everything once you're
yeah,
actually the
sure.
experience. But I think I'm someone I can say that I'm adventurous. I said, why not? Let's just take
Yeah,
the experience and let's just see it. But I can see, or I can even say that the reallocation experience helped me grow a lot, not just with
mm,
my career, but also with the mindset of,
yeah,
of moving. Because when you are, I can say, not just starting over, but you're actually being presented with a total different culture and a total different environment,
yeah,
you allow yourself to grow.
yeah,
So it wasn't, I can't say it was easy.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think I was lucky because I got help from everyone. Everyone was so welcoming. And the Netherlands is so known to be welcoming expats
yeah.
and all. But I think I needed time to adjust from different cultures. So I
Mhm.
think when a person is actually considering reallocation, we should think a little bit that it will not be as easy as we might, like, okay, I'm just waking up in a different
Yeah, sure.
a
Yeah,
different bit.
it's not like a holiday. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's totally different than a holiday.
Like there's a lot more
I
bags to pack
struggle.
if you change your mind.
I can say that I struggled a bit
Yeah.
to adjust
Mm,
on, like, new culture, new ways, and like, yes, I was super grateful that I can just manage very, very good with English in the Netherlands.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
one of the good things.
yeah.
Linkit was helping me a lot in the way of adjusting and getting
Mm,
used on that different work environment and different
mm.
culture. But I can say that if a person like really want to, and that's what I actually told myself at that time, if I really want to say, shall I continue in this or not, I just give myself from 6 months to 1 year to actually know if that things fits me or
If it
not.
works for you, yeah.
Exactly, because taking that decision is not that, it should not be that random. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
I'm
sure.
waking up
Yeah,
tomorrow,
of course, yeah.
I'm just leaving everything behind
Yeah, of course,
and
yeah.
moving.
Yeah,
But I think nowadays, especially with the flexibility to work
mm,
from abroad and to work from everything, it
yeah,
makes things a little bit easier for you.
yeah, sure. And so did you move during the pandemic or before the pandemic? So during the pandemic you moved.
During
Wow.
the pandemic, lockdown and everything,
Yeah, wow.
yeah.
So if you moved during the pandemic, so I'm guessing you moved to a place and then you just didn't meet your colleagues until how long did that take?
I think we just met the first day for the
Okay.
welcoming. By that time,
Yeah.
we were allowed to have a limited number at the
Okay.
office,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Wow. So that
I
must have made it a
think,
lot more difficult just to be locked in a new country.
yeah, I think because of the pandemic, it made things way worse because there was a pandemic and there was a curfew and everything was
Mm.
closed. And when you move, you need to actually go out and meet people
Yeah,
and
yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah.
also social life because
Yeah.
the move and reallocation is not just about work.
Yeah.
You're still a human being. You want to
Yeah.
take your life, create a
Exactly.
whole new life for
Yeah.
you. So I think that's the most thing that I struggled with that I actually moved during the pandemic. That's why
Yeah.
I thought everything through, but not.
Yeah. Well, at least
But
it's worked out now.
yeah, but I can say that the pandemic made it a little bit hard, but I think things started to open now. So once things are more
Mm.
open, things were a little bit easier.
Yeah,
So yeah.
sure, sure. And going back to kind of your role at Linkit, so what kind of things are you working on there at the moment?
I'm an OutSystem developer.
Yeah,
So my main role is developing with OutSystem, depending
yeah,
whatever the project or the client we are working for.
yeah.
So that's my main role currently.
Mhm.
Apps. These kind of releases that actually matters for both developers and the business is the thing that actually makes OutSystems stand out in the market. Because in the technical side, it's very important for developers to work on these things and actually keep updated with it. And also for the business and for the decision makers, whenever they found everything and they can reach every user, that's actually, I think, one of the things that makes OutSystems stands in the market. We have hearing about also Project Neo. They're
Yes,
saying there is no much of information yet,
yeah,
but there is always new releases out there that keeps updated with whatever technology is happening with web and mobile application for the enterprise level. So that I think one of the most important things with OutSystems.
yeah. And are you quite vocal on the community? Do you kind of get involved quite a bit?
I think yeah, but when I think yeah, but especially with the community, like I try to attend things in the Netherlands
Mm.
as user groups here,
Yeah,
but I think also one of the things that we try to have it a little bit being vocal with the community is after the move and I came here to the Netherlands, I found that the user group is widely known all over the world,
yeah, yeah,
but we didn't have that in Egypt.
yeah, yeah,
When I was in Egypt, I struggled a little bit to find a community for the OutSystems.
yeah,
I didn't have people to know who can we discuss ideas or
yeah,
gather a little bit. And it's always very helpful, to
yeah.
hear from each other. And the community, when it supports each other, it helps each other grow.
Sure.
So I think that's why we started, and I decided actually to go for the user groups to be in Egypt, especially Cairo.
Yeah, yeah. And so did you kind of take that discussion to Linkit and say, look, this is what I want to do, and they supported you in that?
Yeah, I actually went and I said like I want to do the user groups, and I think the user groups is all over the world. And
Yeah,
since now everything is remotely, I can do it from anywhere.
Yeah.
So I think they were very, very supportive in that matter, because
Yeah.
also Linkit really supports sharing knowledge.
Yes.
So when we thought of it, it will be very helpful for the community there. So we started it first at doing it online, but then
Yeah.
we decided with Linkit, let's take it to the next level, because we thought that people actually like interact more in offline events.
Yeah.
And after the pandemic, everyone
Yeah.
is so
You want to see
online.
people now. Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. We barely managed to, like, I love working from home, to be
Yeah.
honest,
Yeah.
but from time to time, human interaction is very
Of course.
needed.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
So I think now we took it even like to the next level with Linkit, and they are supporting doing it offline in Cairo.
Yeah.
So this is one of the, and to be honest, the first version of the user group that was made offline in Egypt, I was surprised.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't expect all of these people to attend. I
Yeah.
didn't expect that kind of eager to learn. They were really, really wanted someone just to be there for them and just to help them and
Yeah.
show them that there is another opportunities out there. Like, there is a lot of good talents in Egypt, and there
Yeah.
is a lot that Egypt markets and developers are known to be very, very good. But
Yeah.
I think the low code and OutSystem wasn't really known there. So when we took the step to do it, we were just like, testing if anyone would be interested, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we're just sharing knowledge. We
Yeah. Of
want people
course. Yeah.
to benefit from it. But I think the feedback I was getting was like, overwhelming by
Yeah.
how they actually like it.
I
So
think I
everyone,
saw you've got a waiting list or something as well, haven't you? So that's always nice.
we did change the
Yeah.
place twice. We ended up
Yeah.
with a very long waiting list. So we are actually planning now for more and more with the
Nice.
support from Linkit and for the
Yeah.
support also from OutSystems, so that we are actually planning to be present with that community more and more. Because I can say that we can share knowledge here in the Netherlands. We can do it in Europe very easily. But when we look there, we saw that sharing knowledge should not just be in one place.
Yeah.
It should be just given to everyone,
Yeah.
giving everywhere, everyone with no borders.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. And did you focus on was there like a target audience? Did you focus on graduates or people who anyone from any kind of background? I know previously OutSystems did a low code school where they targeted developers with 2 years experience of Java or .NET, things like that. So did you have a particular kind of audience you went for, or was it just kind of anyone who's interested, come and get involved?
With the user group, we targeted everyone. Everyone who's interested, they can come and join, and even the workshop I was trying to present by that time was actually the kind of workshop that anyone can start with. They don't need to have basic programming language, because yes, by that time we are actually doing it step by step together. But let's say we are now working on mentorship that's happening in Egypt. We are targeting people that actually have a basic programming language.
Sure.
Because we cannot give them a whole knowledge of OutSystems, and they cannot make their own application and understand if they don't understand this. So it usually depends on the type of the event, what's the audience will be. It depends on what we actually giving and what's the prerequisite that they should know about before.
Yeah, sure. I guess it's for them, it's quite comforting that you're one of their own who's kind of brought this to them. So it could be I guess it's quite inspiring where if it was someone just from the Netherlands coming, I'd say it's a different effect to someone who's from Egypt, who's gone abroad and then come back and kind of done this thing to help others and help that community grow in their country.
I think, or I hope so.
Yeah.
And when we wanted to do this, we kind of wanted to inspire others. We wanted to inspire everyone in Egypt. We wanted also to inspire women and inspire people like, you can start. And I'm kind of also grateful for Linkit supporting doing that in Egypt.
That's very,
For me, it's I was there in their shoes, and whenever I talk to people, they're like, I was there in your shoes, and I might know the struggle that you're actually going through. We speak the same language, not just about the speaking the
Yeah.
Arabic language, but
Yeah.
the same mindset and
Yeah.
having someone who understands them. I hope that will be the thing that will actually inspire them to actually also go the extra mile for someone else in the future. So
Yeah, of course.
as you can say, like, the cycle will continue.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. And I think it's definitely inspiring because when I saw all your posts coming up, the first thing I thought was, oh, that's amazing. Like you've gone to Europe, you've got a very supportive employer, which is hard to find because it might not agree with what they're working with. They might have other plans. They don't have to say yes. Okay, well, we're gonna send you back to your home country to do all this training. It's so that's quite good on their part as well to support you in doing that.
That's very, very, very true because to be honest, I wouldn't done all of that like on my own. The
Yeah,
support I was having from Linkit was very, very important to me, and it matters to me that we just support and give it opportunity to everyone, and that's what's
mm,
always I believe in, like equal opportunity to everyone and equal support and empowering to everyone out there
yeah,
is the thing that I think we need now as community all over the world.
yeah, of course. And you mentioned the mentorship that you're part of, so Matun. Do you want to tell us a bit
Yeah.
about that and what that would involve?
Yeah, okay. So there is an organization in Egypt that's called Matun. When I was in Egypt, they were having an event where they actually have a couple of days when they teach people, or usually almost fresh grads or students, or trying to inspire them. They believe in with technology, you can have a lot of possibilities. And
Yeah,
they taught people technology, these people can actually have way more possibilities in the
yeah,
future. So they asked me if I can give a talk about how to start your career with OutSystems and what's low code, and we did that. And from now and after that, they also have the mentorship program.
mm,
And I got super excited for that because with the mentorship, it's not just you give a talk and you leave. It's more of like, creating a
yeah,
real community and helping them. So with this mentorship, we are targeting people who are fresh grads who
yeah,
actually wants to start a career in low code or
yeah,
without systems.
mm,
Not especially that they should have this one in mind, but if they
yeah.
want to start a career, we already established what is this, and they can actually choose from whatever the topic
What
they
they
have.
prefer, yeah,
Exactly. But for me, I'll be giving the mentorship definitely with low code and using
yeah,
OutSystems.
yeah,
But we're trying to target people who are fresh grads who can actually who wants to do that, and definitely we're trying to give opportunity to everyone who's qualified. But we also wanted to empower more women and more girls because it's a very, very, very good opportunity to
yeah,
them to using technology because all what you need is your laptop, which everyone is mostly having
yeah,
nowadays,
of course, yeah,
which is also having every day.
mm,
And then everything, like
yeah,
give yourself time, learn with time, and things will take place with the future. So with this mentorship, it will last for 3 months.
yeah,
And they will learn all the basics about developing with OutSystems. And at the end, also, we had, as Linkit and OutSystems will actually give them certificate vouchers so they can
oh, nice.
actually be
Do the
certified.
certification, that's good.
Exactly. So they can actually really stand out in the market. So
Yeah,
they not just know things, and that's what
mm,
makes them stand out in the market. And that's what one of the things that I also really like is the support for really the community. Like we don't just like give a session and leave.
yeah,
The
yeah,
mentorship is more of really teaching them so they can start their first job.
in their career,
And
yeah,
exactly, and they can also create their own community because when you have a group of people who are interacting with each other in the future, these people who are actually the people who are going to help each other, whether
yeah,
it's technical or not.
yeah.
So yeah, I
That's
think
great. That's really good. Yeah,
yeah, we shall start in May, but right now
mm,
we are in the recruitment phase, so
yep.
we are hoping it will be great.
And you said you're trying to obviously encourage women as well. Have you had much interest from women?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
I think in the event it was obvious kind of from the pictures we were taking by the
yeah,
time.
yeah,
I was happy to have seeing all these women attending and
yeah,
giving it time and like, taking their career to a next level and actually also going the extra mile, because these user groups has nothing to do with their current job. I
Yeah,
usually see
sure.
people, and I also encourage people, because I told them, like, going that extra miles, attending user groups or meetups, or going for any event, online or offline, it shows how committed and how a person, like, how a person you want to go the extra mile
Yeah,
always.
sure.
So I think it's built a little bit of good profile for them, while they're also benefiting from these kind of
Yeah,
things.
yeah, of course. Yeah, I guess it's in their best interest to follow it, and obviously, the more they spend time in it, it's better for their own career. And I
True.
guess now, especially with the world of remote working, it doesn't mean they'll be working for an Egyptian company. They could be working for anybody around the world.
That's true. Now working remote become very easily and
Yeah,
widely known. And
yeah,
if anyone was against it, it's not anymore.
yeah,
So
yeah. Of course, yeah. I think all the companies that are against it don't find any staff, because all the most people we speak to either want hybrid or not even hybrid really. Most people want flexible working. So, like yourself, you said you like traveling. They want the freedom to be able to be based from anywhere and and they know they can still do the work.
that's true. So that's the good part with working remotely, and that's also good for the work environment. Like, let's say I'm not working remotely now. Right now, I'm working full time with Linkit, but I also
Mm,
have the flexibility that if I wanted to work for a month or two, or ever from somewhere, this
mm.
kind of flexibility is what make people, like, now having more flexibility for your work is helping you grow as well. This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
also what I believe in, because um, our mindset nowadays can never be tightened, or, like,
mm,
can never
mm.
be strict to just one routine and that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You can never have employees grow if you go with that mindset.
And I think that helps the individual also kind of be more satisfied with their job, to be able to kind of have a bit of flexibility. Where I think before the pandemic, I think there were companies doing remote, but I think not.
That
It
much.
was very rare, especially like international remote.
Yeah,
I think was very rare. So that's really good. One thing I kind of like to ask everybody as a final question, and it might tie into it's something you're already doing, because obviously you're trying to recruit people for these groups. And the question I tend to ask everybody is, what would be your message for the low code haters, for example, who you know don't agree with it, don't they just I'm guessing you may have come across those kind of people.
definitely.
So what would be your kind of message to them when speaking to someone like that?
I think usually I have two kind of messages for these people, because I see them as two, like, if you are someone who is, like, a decision maker, or, like, they can say a CTO or whatsoever,
Mm,
who is taking decision whether to use low code or not, it has different messages than the people who actually want to start coding with low code. So whenever I come across these kind of things, and especially for developers, they how can I say, they stand against leaving coding and doing the
yeah.
high code and writing hundred of
Yeah,
lines
yeah,
to feel that they achieved something at the end of the day, which is a good satisfaction to feel that you're achieving good things in your job. But what I always advise people is, do not make decisions based on what other people say. And for those who ever say, like, yes, low code is not for development, for developers and stuff like that, I always tell them, when I'm pretty sure that we can all do the basic calculation without
mm,
a calculator.
yeah,
But when things get a little bit complex, we can still do the same calculation
yeah,
without a calculator. But using it makes our life easier.
yeah,
And
of
this is how
course.
you think of it as a developer. Your job should not be thinking about 70 multiplying
Yeah,
382.
yeah, yeah. Writing
It's
it
not
down on your notepad and working it out.
exactly. It's not
Yeah,
your job as a developer to do that. You go using a calculator. Does this mean that people will be leaving the high code and it will come to an end? It will never come to an end,
yeah,
in my own opinion. not in very, very, very long years, and you can
Yeah.
say never
Yeah.
even.
There'll always be a need. Yeah.
But if you started with both, using OutSystem, using low code, you can still extend using the high code. You can
Yeah.
still do a lot of things with the high code. But as a developer, it cuts your repetitive thing, and it productivity become way, way more. So for developers, I also tell them that, does it have good career opportunity? Always ask yourself that. What
Yeah.
is the career opportunity and what are the chances are in front of you right now? If you are comparing to, like, yes, I'm an OutSystem developer, I'm a low code developer, I would love everyone else to spread the word,
Yeah.
but I will spread the word correctly to them. Like, if you have two chances between high code and low code, choose whatever that actually suits you. But
Yeah.
always look at the low code as it as a good chance as well.
Yeah.
Like, don't just like, no, do
Write it
not
off.
force on it, and because I can see people all over the world doing very good job, and they are learning and they're still updating with technology. And so it's just
Yeah.
a mindset that you have to
Yeah.
change. You don't have to make your life hard just to
Yeah. Yeah.
feel
Yeah. Of
right at
course.
the end of the
Yeah. Yeah.
day.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's just a mindset for developers. And I usually tell them, like, looking for consultants, looking for them. They also still studied computer science and they loved having that. With the low code, you will grow more into a mindset of a consultant more than
Yeah.
just a geek who behind your laptop
Yeah.
writing code. So it depends on your character. It depends on what would you love to do, but always see it as a good opportunity for you. Because if you didn't see it as a good opportunity, if you didn't understand that this is a way of developing, and this is very booming also in the near future. It's booming right now, and it will be
Yes.
way more in the very near
Yeah.
future.
Definitely.
You will miss a lot of good opportunities, and by
Yeah.
that time you will say, like, I wish I started, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
when it was 5 years ago or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. I've missed the boat.
Exactly. So I always say that, see it as a good opportunity. You're still coding. You can find yourself in it, and it's good to also communicate with you. Let's say if you're already adopting it in your own company, talk to your manager about what you love to do and how you can always start updating with latest technology. And if you can see it somewhere, just take the opportunity and try it yourself. And I was saying, like, now for decision making, for CTO especially, how they see it, I always advise, like, do not stand in front of technology, because technology will evolve, and in a couple of years you will find that you would also wish that you started early, because you will need it.
Yeah.
When the technology is starting, it's kind of, we can call it a little bit of a luxury. Like, before pandemic happened, a lot of companies and a lot of industries thought that investing in tech is just a luxury, that they
Yeah.
can survive with the basics. No one was
Yeah. Yeah. Big
pandemic.
shock. Big shock. Yeah.
And we saw how they needed all of these technology, that we were trying to say, like, guys, you have to invest in your tech, but usually say, like, the retail, or whatever other thing that's not known as a tech industry, they just think that you don't need technology anymore.
Mm.
But nowadays, and especially with the pandemic when come, you need technology.
Yeah.
You have to adapt to it. You have to be with the latest thing. You have to know how it can stays within your ecosystem and within your technology ecosystem in your enterprise. Because if you didn't do that, you are the one who's going to pay the price double in the future.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So it's good to always keep yourself updated. And
Yeah.
yeah, I
I
don't
guess
think
it.
it's not
I guess if you
luxury.
don't choose a career with it, then at least it's some knowledge you've learned as well.
That's
Until
very true, and that's actually one of the things that we were doing with the user groups.
yeah.
We were targeting everyone to know about it. Like, we can give talks about it. We can say what's low code and what's out systems.
Mm.
We definitely know that when sharing all of this knowledge, not everyone will go the next morning want to work with low code
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
systems,
Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
doesn't make
If they did,
sense.
you're doing a hell of a job.
But yeah, I think we wanted to share awareness for people when they, because having a good sharing awareness is will make the community at the end of the day understand what it is. And when you are talking about it, like, I spent like all 3 years of my career in Egypt, people or my friends who are CTOs and CEOs, I'm not
Yeah.
even saying developers like me,
Yeah.
doesn't even know what is low code,
Yeah.
don't even know what I'm doing. And no matter
Mm.
how I try to explain for them, they usually get it in a wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think this is also one of the things that I wanted to share awareness with. When
Yeah.
people have awareness with things, they understand it more. They see how they see the possibilities with it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this
Of
is how
course.
I actually see it.
Amazing. I think that's definitely a good note to end it on. Thanks for your time. I think I look forward to seeing the great things you're doing, and I'm sure I'll speak to some people that you've trained in the future when they're looking for a job. They'll probably reach out to me. um,
I hope.
and then maybe we can catch up again, in the future and kind of see where you are, where in the world you are, what you're doing.
Sure.
And maybe meet at the next step whenever it's back to, maybe it'll be back to normal this year, who knows.
Yes.
But thanks for your time. It was
Thank
really
you.
nice to talk to you.
It was my pleasure. I really enjoyed it.
Great.
So thank you as well.
No worries. Take care.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you for listening to the latest episode of the Low Code Podcast, hosted by iTrack Recruitment, global leader in low code recruitment. Be sure to subscribe and see you next time.